and good evening, our beloved viewers. It's 9 p.m. You are watching our live RTD channel. Welcome to this English news edition. The headlines: the President of the Republic went to Russian locality. Town hall about the Coronavirus Awareness Day on coronavirus prevention. And on the international scene, Italy, the country, pays the highest coronavirus death toll in the world. Those were the headlines. Thanks for joining us in our newsroom. After Korangar, the President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Margeli, visit Russian to get a closer look at the proper progress of the construction of the hotel complex. This project is one of the leading economic development projects in the country, founded by the investment. This is founded by the project and which will boost tourism in the country. A Chinese investment companies, it is scheduled that this project will provide a job for young people in the region, and in addition to that, it promotes tourism development and the economic in the region in particular and all the countries in general. In a statement to the national TV, the Secretary General of the Ministry of Health spoke about recent development regarding the precautionary measures to confront the new epidemic of coronavirus. As promised by the Ministry of Health, the press briefing will be held every day according to the evolution of the situation of the coronavirus. The Bufar quarantine site currently has 3 people who will be tested at the end of the day. Concerning the people admitted to Bufar yesterday, March 19, the results of the COVID-19 or the coronavirus tests are all negative. Also, at the present time, no confirmed cases of coronavirus has been detected in the national territory. In order to strengthen the prevention mechanism, the government has taken additional measures such as the closure of schools, closing of mosques, prohibition of groups sport activities. It is also the advisable as a precautionary measure to avoid all gathering. The Ministry of Health reiterates the strict monitoring of health recommendation and barriers measure. The population is asked to trust the health authorities who are taking all the necessary measures to counter this epidemic. Thank you for your support, said the Secretary General of the Ministry of Health. Faced with the devastating effect of COVID-19 throughout the worldwide and its appearance in the region, especially in the countries bordering on a few cases, the President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Margile, faced with this potential danger, has stepped up to the plate and has taken measures to close international earth links with all the economic consequences that this entails for hotels in particular, but also for the entire national economic chain. The president has also granted to sum of half of billion of our franc, which is an unprecedented for the order of the equipment for the benefit of public health in prevention of a possible outbreak of coronavirus in our country, the advance of the annual holidays and other preventive measures have been taken while no cases of COVID-19 has been recovered to date among the Djiboutian population. The head of state has managed to keep this schedule to hold an emergency council on preventive measures related to the coronavirus on 17 March between two stages of a star of the region. The objective of all these measures is to protect the Djiboutian population from the risk of introducing this epidemic into the national territory, even as the head of state devotes himself to these maneuvers. Some as showing the contradict themselves while others are going even further in its epidemic of fake news to spread panic among the population on social network to announce that COVID-19 is indeed present in Djibouti and that the government was hiding the truth. What a responsible government policy will be in the interest of hiding the truth, which will cause the virus to spread among the population and lead us straight to disaster. It is under this same condition of solidarity that they build this state which they will remain and perpetuate with this institution and assistance of the Almighty. In the context of a precautionary measure in Djibouti to confront a virus, the Office of Mayor of Djibouti City organized an awareness day. The initiative was to wash hands with soap and with the framework of a preventive measure against this deadly disease which is spread terribly in the world. The World Health Organization has issued a number of advice to the public about preventive coronavirus from washing hands with soap. It is worth noting that the President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Margile, personally undertook an educational scene where he washed the hands with soap and water, and it is one of the simplest, easiest steps to prevent the spread of coronavirus. Among these precautionary measures is to reduce movement more and away from gathering places. Pay attention to washing hands with soap and waters and issues and the available pharmacies in addition to calling the green number 15 and 17 if you feel a poor health condition due to a fever or cough. The Container Terminal Management Company, known by the acronyms of CGTD, maintain this maritime operation and continues as usual as at the STGD trade and food continue to arrive. Three ships carrying food yesterday for Djibouti, Ethiopia, and other countries were at the dock. This global coronavirus epidemic has had no impact on the flow of goods since January. He noted that additional precautionary measures are in the place. It should be noted also and recall that coronavirus or the COVID-19 was a test of global logistic and maritime traffic. On the other hand, the Djibouti Telecom company also organized an awareness daily in the framework of precautionary measure in Djibouti Telecom to confront these virus. The initiatives was to wash hands with soap in the framework of a preventive measure against this deadly disease, which is spread terribly in the war. The World Health Organization has issued a number of advice to the public about preventing coronavirus from washing hands with soap. It is worth nothing that the President of the Republic, His Excellency Ismail Mergele, personally undertook an educational scene where he washed his hands with soap and waters, and it is one of the simplest and easiest steps to prevent the spread of the COVID-19. About this precautionary measure is to reduce move and away from gathering places. Pay attention to wash your hand with soap and water and use the alcohol based on antiseptic available in pharmacies, in addition to calling the green number 15 and 17 if you feel poor and health condition due to the fever or cancer. The cooperative agro-pastoral Daramadole Al Sabih locality proceed this Wednesday 18 March has in 2020 has launched the creation of the first regional nursery. The prefect of Al Sabih region took part in this meeting. Mr. Musa Aden Migane, the vice president of the regional council, Mr. Daoud Said Geldon, the deputy of the region, Mr. Abdou Sikiye, farmers, women farmers, locals, and manager of the region. During the ceremony, several people made various interventions. The president of the cooperative, Mr. Hassan Ibrahim Food, has welcomed everyone. He further thanked all the guests. The regional nursery will allow to take part in the policy of promotion of the tree and the beautifications of the region of Ali Sabih. In the context of biometric registration process for persons with special needs organized by the National Agency for the Person with Disability in partnership with the Ministry of Health, the agency has conducted a convey for carrying out biometric registration operation for the person with special need in Ali Sabih region. This process aims to update the social and demographic data of this person as well as medical data for them that will determine the person is special need or a non-disability status and a classification of motors, visual, mental, and auditory disabilities and others, and the degree of disability, the ability to take responsibility by social medical organization, and type of support possible, and update to his needs. Thanks to this process became access to health care and social assistance and a guarantee of obtaining the biometric cards. An official from the National Agency for Persons with Disabilities indicate that it is a social duty to prepare a biometric record for person with a special need, and also indicate that this program meets the national vision. He thanked the National Information System Agency and the Ministry of Health for their contribution to the success of this unique process in the country. He noted that this process continues even in the interior region. In the context of a regional table tennis competition, 13 years old Nassim Mahmoud Umar won medals in her first Nassima Mahmoud Umar won a medal in her first participation in this regional championship. Also, the player Mahmoud Qayad also participate in this competition. This regional championship brought together a number of countries, Horn of Africa. Upon their arrival at the international airport, they were received by the president of the National Table Tennis Federation, Mahmoud Umar, and by the number of the federation's persons. Moving on to the international scene, the Nigerian government has imposed a ban on the entry for travelers from 13 countries with an outbreak of new coronavirus, and will be in place from next Friday until further notice. The Nigerian President Task Forces and state that the government of Nigeria restrict entry to the country for travelers from the countries that have more than 1,000 cases infected with the virus, including China, Italy, Iran, South Korea, Spain, Japan, France, Germany, and the United States, Norway, the United Kingdom, Netherlands, Switzerland, and he emphasized that the federal government in Nigeria has also suspended the issuance of a visa upon the arrival of travelers from the aforementioned countries, that all travelers returning from those countries before applying the registration decision will be subject to self-isolation under the supervision of the Nigerian Center for Disease Control of Health Port Service. And now, Italy has recorded a greater death toll from coronavirus than any other country, with a total death toll of more than 3,000 cases, which is more than that recorded by China, which started the epidemic. Italy imposed a closure and expanded its period beyond the original expiry date set on 25 March. Thursday figure present a slight improvement on the day before, when Italy recorded 475 deaths from COVID-19, while the world has stepped up effort against the coronavirus epidemic by closing schools, shutting down cities, and imposing strict borders control. Nearly 220,000 people have now been confirmed with the coronavirus globally, of which at least 84,000 have recovered from COVID-19, while more than 8,800 have died, according to data from University of the US. Those were the headlines. Thanks for joining us in our newsroom.